Very interesting, the Critics' Choice are the first nominations out this year, and I'm really excited to predict them. I haven't done a predictions video properly on my channel. I did some on the Best Original Song, but that wasn't that big. It wasn't like predicting everything. The nominations come out on Friday. I don't know what time it is, especially UK time, but I thought I'd better get these predictions out as quick as possible. This is probably the trickiest it's been predicting. I normally do okay, like pretty well. I have a strong feeling I might not do that well this year. I'm trying to put my faith in some films. Some films are just a massive question mark. They could do really well. They could do awfully. I don't know. And a little heads up, I've seen the Astra nominations. I did a video on the Astra nominations, but other nominations and winners have come out. At the time of recording, I have seen the New York Critics Circle winners. I have seen the Gotham winners, but I haven't seen the NBR winners. They're out at the time of recording, but I haven't seen any of them. I also haven't seen the Indie Spirits. I know that those nominations came out. Haven't seen them either. Some of these aren't too much of an influence, that they can be for some years, but they aren't normally, so I'm not going to take it too much, but I always keep a note of whatever's won everywhere. So let's dive into it, starting with Best Picture. Now, I've got one battle after another. Sinners, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, It Was Just an Accident, Frankenstein, J. Kelly, Wicked for Good, and No Other Choice. So these are the 10 that I've got nominated at Critics' Choice. Those are my predictions. I will have one battle after another winning Best Picture or Best Film here at Critics' Choice. But I think the top 5 here are locks. One battle after another. Sinners, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value. There is absolutely no chance that these do not get nominated. And then the next 3, It Was Just an Accident, Frankenstein, J. Kelly. I think they are going to get nominated. I just have a little bit more question marks on them. I think J. Kelly is going to get in to a lot of categories in the Critics' Choice, which is why it's there. Frankenstein, I also feel the same about. It's going to win quite a few, especially in the crafts and the text. It Was Just an Accident is one that I'm just hoping that the Critics' Choice take really well, because I can see a time where it doesn't get into picture, it doesn't get into director, it gets into screenplay, but only just. Like, I can see a world where that happens. I loved the film, so I'm sort of thinking that this film should be rewarded by the critics, who I think really like the film as well. So I'm really hoping that it does get in. This is more just me being hopeful and faithful that this film gets in. 9, Wicked for Good. At 10, No Other Choice. These are the ones where I think there is quite a high chance that neither of them get in. Wicked for Good, although Wicked last year did really well, critics don't love it as much, and this could really hurt Wicked for Good. That, you know, I can see it not getting into picture at all. I just do think enough critics like it, but also it's really going to compete. It did whatever it did last year. It won pretty much everything it could last year for Wicked. Wicked for Good won't do that, but it will still get nominated, and I can see it getting 10 plus. I can see it get 11, see it getting 12 nominations, and it winning supporting actress, and there's a world where it wins costume design or production design. This number 10 slot for me was very difficult, because I think it is No Other Choice or Train Dreams. The momentum that Train Dreams have is just unreal. I know the critics love it. I've seen it. Train Dreams is such a beautiful and great film that if it is No Other Choice that misses and Train Dreams that's in, I could expect that. But also, I'm going with No Other Choice over Train Dreams. I haven't seen No Other Choice, so this is going to be very, very risky on my part. But I think there's a chance that it does just get into a lot of places. And yeah, I just have a feeling that it's going to be No Other Choice, despite everyone loving Train Dreams. But where if on Friday when nominations come out and I'm reacting and I see Train Dreams there and I don't see No Other Choice there, I also won't be surprised, if that makes sense. And then missing with Train Dreams, I have Bugonia and Avatar, which are sort of on the cusp as well, but a little bit further away than Train Dreams. I think Bugonia does have a really good shot in other categories. I think it will get into screenplay. I think it's a little bit far off in director, but it could happen. Jesse Plemons could happen. I think Emma Stone will happen. So Begonia is sort of fighting against, you know, the Frankenstein, J. Kelly, Wicked, No Other Choice. It Was Just an Accident in trying to get in, and I just don't think it's strong enough in picture. Avatar, is a really tricky one because pretty much no one I know has seen it because it's not out yet. I'm just simply going by what people have said online. I've seen some critics not like it, some critics like it. It's very split. I don't know. People saying that it's kind of mediocre, the story's the same, but I've also heard it's the best Avatar film yet. So I don't know. I think it's split, and I think this split means that it might not get into picture. But again, if this shows up ahead of No Other Choice, Wicked, It Was Just an Accident, it makes sense. Like, I could see Avatar getting in. And the other ones I've got listed are The Secret Agent, F1, House of Dynamite, Testament of An Lee, and Weapons. I just don't think either of these or any of these are strong enough to get into picture. They will get nominations in other places. Secret Agent, I think, will get into actor. F1 could win a few categories like sound, get into editing, get into some of the other text as well. A House of Dynamite could get into some text. An Lee, they really didn't like here. Don't think that's happening. Weapons, actually should go over An Lee because it has a great shot. I think they're going to really like Weapons. You know, supporting actress, I think will get in. Screenplay, I think it will get into screenplay. So Weapons has a shot as well, but I think the 10 that I've got, they're just the predictions that I'm going to go with because if I sit on it for any longer, then it's not happening. Like, I'm just going to change it again. So yes, those are the 10 I'm going for. Director Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. I have him winning. Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident. I'm very confident on the top 5 that I've written. PTA, Ryan Coogler, Chloe Zhao, Josh Safdie, and Joachim Trier. I think they're getting in. The directing is great for all of them. I haven't seen Marty Supreme, but I know that Josh Safdie's direction will be great. I've heard it's great. I've heard it's like the best thing he's done, including Good Time and Uncut Gems, which he did with Benny. It's really strong at picture. It's in the top 5 for picture. It's happening. Jafar Panahi is the one that I'm a bit stuck on because, like I said earlier, it's one of those things where It Was Just an Accident could just miss in a loads of places. I can see a world where that happens. I have him in because he's doing really well at other places. He's winning a lot at other critics' places, and it just feels like I need to put him in, and the directing is very good and It Was Just an Accident. So I want to put him in. The 2 that could get in over Jafar Panahi is Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein and Park Chan-wook for No Other Choice. If I see any 3 of these names of Jafar Panahi, Guillermo del Toro, and Park Chan-wook being nominated for director, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think Critics' Choice are going to really, really like Frankenstein, so putting Guillermo del Toro in would make sense. I hope that they really like No Other Choice as well, so seeing Park Chan-wook in there would be great. I really want them to really like It Was Just an Accident, so Jafar Panahi to me makes sense, but I don't know. The other ones that I've got below Park Chan-wook is Yorgos Lanthimos for Begonia, Noah Baumbach for Jay Kelly, James Cameron, Avatar Fire and Ash, and Zach Cregger for Weapons. Cameron got in last year for the last Avatar got in. I think he got in for the first Avatar. I will check that. But, you know, hasn't missed for directing an Avatar film. I think this is when they opened it up to like 10 as well. They really like to open it up to 10 directors. If they do that, then it'll be very interesting because I think it would be PTA, Coogler, Chloe Zhao, Josh Safdie, Joachim Trier, Jafar Panahi, Guillermo del Toro, Park Chan-wook, and then you can say Lanthimos and Baumbach, or Lanthimos and James Cameron. Baumbach is just on Jay Kelly. I think they are going to really like Jay Kelly. A lot of critics really like Jay Kelly, and I think it's taken some people to warm up to Jay Kelly. Again, the film I haven't seen. I live in the UK, missed it at the London Film Festival. That was pretty much my only shot, but I'm going by what other people have said, and a lot of other people really like Jay Kelly. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that does. I don't think it will get into director. And then I've thrown Zach Cregger in there because they really liked Weapons. They really liked Weapons, and I think it's going to get into screenplay. And when you have a film that's kind of up for screenplay, you've got to look at the directing as well. It's low down. If they keep it at a 6, I don't think it's close. If they expand it to a 10, it could get there. Best Actress, I have Jessie Buckley from Hamnet winning, Renate Reinsve for Sentimental Value, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good, Emma Stone from Begonia, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, and Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another. Now, my top 4 I'm very confident in. And with Rose Byrne, she keeps on winning places, you know. With I'm gonna expand that to a top five. I think Rose Byrne is in the top five. It's that sixth slot because Critics' Choice do six, as you've noticed, and I think everyone knows. Critics' Choice do six, and that is the slot that I'm a bit worried about. I don't know what they're gonna do because I think they're gonna really love One Battle After Another, and I think they might over nominate it. But Chase Infinity, I think, does have a shot. It's what would get in over Chase Infinity. I've got next on my list Amanda Seyfried from The Testament of Anne Lee, Jennifer Lawrence in Die My Love, Eva Victor for Sorry Baby, Tessa Thompson, Heather, Kate Hudson, Song Song Blue. And I think Kate Hudson's sort of done. I don't really see Kate Hudson getting in. Song Song Blue just wasn't liked enough. I could see Amanda Seyfried getting in. It just depends on if enough people enjoyed her performance, because I know that the Critics' Choice did not like Testament of Anne Lee. You could see that in the shortlists. It missed in a lot of places, but will that reflect on what they would want to nominate with Amanda Seyfried? That's what I'm sort of going by. I just don't think they like the Testament of Anne Lee enough to nominate Amanda Seyfried. I think they just liked One Battle After Another. And Chase Infinity is very good in the film as well. Let's not forget that she's very good. So that's why I have her in. We could have Eva Victor getting in here, because I think if anyone's going to nominate Sorry Baby in places, it will be here. It will be the Critics' Choice. Tessa Thompson in Heather. I watched Heather the other day. She's so good. She's very good. So I'd really like for her to show up. But I think this is a very, very intriguing category. This is probably one of the trickiest categories I've ever tried to predict at places, including some Oscars. And I think this is because this is the first one. We don't really know what acting is going to happen. But I've got Timothée Chalamet winning for Mighty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, George Clooney for J. Kelly, and Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. And as I was saying, this is the first one. It's the first big nominations. That's why I think I'm finding this hard, because there have been some Oscar predictions that I've tried to do which are quite hard, but I can look at some precursors. I can see what's missing. I can see what's getting in without other things. I don't know if some of these actors can miss and just get into the Oscars, if that makes sense. But I think the top three are for sure happening. Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Michael B. Jordan. They're going to get in everywhere. Wagner Moura wins a lot. I think he might get in here. I think the critics, I haven't seen The Secret Agent, but I think a lot of people have and loved him. I think he will get in. I'm very confident on George Clooney as well for J. Kelly. Like I said, J. Kelly, the Critics' Choice, will love, and a lot of people love J. Kelly. Ethan Hawke is the one I am just a bit questionable on, although I'm going to put him in. The Astros missed him, which I thought was a huge snub. And if he misses at the Critics' Choice and misses at the Golden Globe, then there's a big problem. I don't think the Oscars would nominate Ethan Hawke just off of nothing. They can do it, and they've done it before, but I don't think they are going to do that. I think Blue Moon is a great... Everyone I've spoken to that have seen Blue Moon likes Blue Moon a lot. And they really like Ethan Hawke. They say this is like one of the best performances of the year. I don't know if enough people saw Blue Moon, is what I'm thinking. You know, it hasn't shown up in a lot of places. It's only just Ethan Hawke that I've seen. In every other category, it's not showing up. Like, I really loved the screenplay. I would probably put it in for a screenplay category. No one else is doing that. So that also might be why Ethan Hawke doesn't get in. And if he doesn't get in, who gets over him? Jesse Plemons for Begonia? Is it Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams? Is it Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice? Is it Dwayne Johnson for The Smashing Machine? Is it Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen? It's not Jeremy Allen White. Springsteen has lost all momentum since October when it came out, which it was so quick to lose all of its momentum. But Jeremy Allen White isn't happening anywhere other than potentially the Golden Globes, because they split the category. It's comedy, musical and drama. Jesse Plemons versus Joel Edgerton to get in over Ethan Hawke if he misses. Like I said, there's a chance that they're going to really love Train Dreams, and that's a way for Joel Edgerton to get in. Jesse Plemons is very good in Begonia. Just couldn't put him in because I think the Wagner Moura is getting in. I think Ethan Hawke is getting in, and the top three are the only locks. So that's where I'm standing with actor. And Dwayne Johnson, I think, is done. I didn't like The Smashing Machine, like, at all, but I can't lie, he is very good in the film. but I think some people might be kind of the same. They don't like The Smashing Machine, but they like Dwayne Johnson. And you have to look at some of the other performances that you'd put in over in like better films. This is a category that I'm very excited for to see how it plays out, because the 6 I've got here, ones that I would think about for the Oscar, when I do my Oscar predictions video, it could be different to this. And that's what I love about this category. Supporting actress is a very interesting category, but I have Ariana Grande winning, then Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another, Inga Ibsdotter Liljeus from Sentimental Value. I'm so sorry if I keep pronouncing your name wrong, Inga. I apologise. I'm saying that like she's watching. Elle Fanning also for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, and Gwyneth Paltrow for Mighty Supreme. This is a bit up in the air, this category. I mean that because there are so many people that can get nominated here, and there's so many great performances. I still have Ariana Grande winning. I think she just does so much with this role that she did last year, but she builds on it from last year. It's just such an emotional performance, and I think everyone is going to love her in this film. And Tiana Taylor as well is one that I can also see winning. I really enjoyed Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another, so I'm very excited to see how that does. The Sentimental Value women are also both getting in. They're both really, really strong. I think Inga is the stronger performance. I've heard some critics also say that Inga is the stronger performance. Not that Elle Fanning isn't strong. She's very strong, but I think Inga is stronger. And then I have Amy Madigan in at 5 for Weapons. Weapons is going to do very, very well. Amy Madigan is crazy in the film. Like, she's genuinely really crazy. So I'm very excited to see how Weapons is going to do well. Amy Madigan will do well. And if Amy Madigan gets in here, you can see her crop up in other places. She'll slide up a little bit and could have enough to get into that Oscar. Now, the last slot is one that I'm kind of debating over, because I have Gwyneth Paltrow in for Mighty Supreme, but there is a chance that you could have like 4 other actresses in there and it makes sense. Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners could very much get in. Like, she just won the Gotham. I think that is very interesting. I know I said that they might not have an influence, but if some people look at that and go, oh, Wunmi Mosaku won the Gotham, they might go back and look at her in Sinners, because she is very, very good in Sinners. Odessa Ajon, Mighty Supreme. I'm sort of stuck with Mighty Supreme because, like I said, I haven't seen it. So I'm just going by what do I think. Not really the better performance, but the baitier performance. And I think that's going to be Gwyneth Paltrow. But I can't really speak about it unless I see it. I'm sort of just going by what other people say. Not other people didn't say that. That's my own impression from the trailer. But I think people are just going to put in Paltrow over Odessa Ajon. But that's very interesting. Regina Hall for One Battle After Another could get in as well. I don't think she's in the film enough to get a nomination. But what she is in, she's very good in. Nina Hoss for Hedda. Haley Steinfeld for Sinners. Sort of where it sort of stops. I really liked Nina Hoss in Hedda. She's doing a lot there. And Haley Steinfeld is also very, very good in Sinners. They could get in, but I do think Mosaku, Ajon, and Regina Hall have more of a chance over them too. And then I've also written down Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man and Emily Watson for Hamnet. I don't think they're going to happen, but I think it's worth noting just simply because, you know, Glenn Close got into the Astra because they split everything up. And I really liked Emily Watson in Hamnet. It doesn't really seem like something the Critics' Choice would do, but if she showed up in BAFTA, that is something the BAFTA would do. Supporting actor, I've got Sean Penn for One Battle After Another winning. The Benicio del Toro also from One Battle After Another. Paul Mescal for Hamnet, Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, and then Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly. This is probably the one where I just don't know where to place everything. I think the 6 that I've got are the 6 that'll get in, but I don't know where to put them. Sean Penn I currently have winning, but Benicio del Toro won at New York. I don't know what it is, but that for me just wants to bump him up really high. So that's why I've got him at 2. I can also see Stellan Skarsgård winning here because everyone just loves how good everyone is in Sentimental Value. It's up there as one of the best acted films of the year, not just for Skarsgård, but for Inga and Elle Fanning, but also Renata Reinsve. That's 4 amazing acting performances, which makes you think, yeah, it should have been in cast and ensemble when it isn't. And I think with the competition in the other categories and with Skarsgård here, this is a chance where Sentimental Value can win an acting. I also think actress is a chance where Sentimental Value could also win with Reinsve, but she's got a bit more competition there. I think this is the most up in the air category. Paul Mescal, I thought was very, very good and could win. Jacob Elordi, I think, is getting in here, like absolutely for sure. He's got the makeup on. He's very good. And I also think this is a chance for the critics to go crazy on him so that other ceremonies can look at Jacob Elordi and look at Frankenstein and think, okay, we can nominate him or we can try and get him in, because there's a chance that I think he could show up in a lot of places, Jacob Elordi. And Adam Sandler is the one that I've got him just in, but I don't really know who gets in over Adam Sandler. I've got Delroy Lindo down. I've got Miles Caton down from Sinners. Again, if they nominated either of those, I would be very chuffed with that. They're both very, very good, but I just don't think they're going to get in over Adam Sandler. Again, Jay Kelly's a film I haven't seen. I've just got a feeling that Adam Sandler gets in. I would really like Delroy Lindo or Miles Caton to get in as well. They're very, very good performances. So if I do see on Friday that Delroy Lindo is in over Adam Sandler, or if Miles Caton is in over Adam Sandler, I'm not going to be surprised in the slightest. But I'm very confident in the top 4. On the top 5, actually, I'm very confident in. It's just Adam Sandler that I don't really know about. But I think I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it with Adam Sandler, and then if they do nominate Delroy Lindo and Miles Caton, then we'll have a look at the other precursors as well. And I've also got down Jeremy Strong for Springsteen. Springsteen's done. It's not happening. It's not getting in anywhere. But he's very good in that film. And Jonathan Bailey for Wicked is good. He got into the Astra, and I do think they'll like Wicked enough. He's not stronger than Jeremy Strong, Miles Caton, Delroy Lindo, or Adam Sandler for me. Original screenplay is Sinners, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, Jay Kelly, It Was Just an Accident, and Weapons. Again, 4 I'm very confident on. Sinners, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, Jay Kelly. I do think It Was Just an Accident and Weapons are quite in as well, because if you look at what's coming next, Sorry Baby, The Testament of Anne Lee, Blue Moon, Rental Family, A House of Dynamite, I don't think any of those get in over It Was Just an Accident and Weapons, because again, I just think they're going to love Weapons, and the screenplay for Weapons is good. It's very original. I really like the screenplay for It Was Just an Accident. It's definitely one of the best screenplays of the year. I can say the same for Sentimental Value and Sinners. Haven't seen Marty Supreme, haven't seen Jay Kelly. I've heard people say the same thing about Marty Supreme and Jay Kelly. So I think this is pretty locked as a top 6. Adapted screenplay, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Begonia, No Other Choice, Train Dreams. Little bit like original screenplay in the sense that we sort of know what's getting in. It's just here. Add Wake Up Dead Man. That's the one I'm leaving out. They're gonna love Train Dreams. Like I said, I'm having to choose for picture between No Other Choice and Train Dreams. I'm not doing that for Wake Up Dead Man. So I'm putting No Other Choice and Train Dreams, both of them in. Wake Up Dead Man, I think, is a very weird one because the screenplay is good. It's not Netflix's only film. They're Train Dreams they also have, and if the Critics' Choice are going to think about nominating Train Dreams for Best Picture, Netflix are going to recognise that and go, okay, we're going to push hard for it in screenplay. It doesn't leave Wake Up Dead Man on the side, it's just that it's lower down in priority than Train Dreams. And Netflix also have Frankenstein as well, so if they're going to combine Frankenstein and Train Dreams for screenplays, are they going to do Wake Up Dead Man as well? Like, could Netflix get 3 in at once? Who knows? But I think it is that top 7 that are pretty strong. I'm just leaving at Wake Up Dead Man. If Wake Up Dead Man got in, I don't think I'd be too surprised by it. But I just can't really see any of the other 6 being left out for it. The rest are Wicked for Good, Life of Chuck, Hedda, Springsteen. But I think there's quite a big gap between those 4 compared to the other 7. Casting an ensemble, I've got Sinners, One Battle After Another, Wicked for Good, Mighty Supreme, Hamnet and Jay Kelly. Ever since they left out Sentimental Value from the shortlist, which I just won't get over, I'm so confident in this top 6. Really confident. I don't think any other film has a shot at getting in over the 6. Had Sentimental Value been here, it would have been a top 7, and I probably would have left out Jay Kelly and I would have put Sentimental Value in at 4 or 3. But it's not here. The ones that could potentially, I think the other shortlisted were Rental Family, No Other Choice, The Secret Agent, A House of Dynamite, The Long Walk and The Plague. I just don't think they either of them stand a chance really at getting in. I think this is quite a cemented 6 for me. International feature, I've got Sentimental Value winning, It Was Just an Accident, No Other Choice, The Secret Agent, The Voice of Hundrajab, and Sirat. This is a very difficult one because I think the top 4 are very strong, and I think the top 6 are what the Oscars are going to choose from. But I know a lot of people really, really liked Nouvelle Vague, so I have Nouvelle Vague just missing. I think I've just gone for what I think like has a good chance at the Oscars here. And we'll see what the Critics' Choice do. And it's very risky to do that because sometimes the Critics' Choice will just do, like, they just won't do what the Oscars should do. But I just felt like predicting it here. But Nouvelle Vague is very, very close. Like, I could see Nouvelle Vague getting in over The Voice of Hundrajab or Sirat. I don't know. Like, we'll have to see. Sound of Falling, Belen, Left-Handed Girl, The President's Cake, My Father's Shadow. I think they're all kind of close as well. I think Sound of Falling's probably behind Nouvelle Vague. Then Belen got in at the Astra. Nouvelle Vague also got a cinematography shortlist. Could that help it? I don't know, because I don't think it's going to get nominated for cinematography. But the fact that it showed up in another category might help it. Animated feature, probably some of the easiest stuff to predict. K-pop Demon Hunters, Zootropolis 2, Arco, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, Elio and In Your Dreams. K-pop Demon, I think winning might be a bit difficult. K-pop Demon Hunters or Zootropolis. K-pop Demon Hunters for so long was winning, but now that Zootropolis is out and people are saying, you know what, it kind of lives up to what the first one was, or if it's not better than the first one, it's definitely not much worse. That can help it. The Disney side of it can help it. Is Disney versus Sony, Disney versus Netflix. It's definitely between those two for winning. I haven't seen Arco or Little Amelie on the Character of Rain, but I know that they're getting it. I've heard Little Amelie is very good. I've heard Arco is good as well. Elio is Pixar. It's not bad Pixar. It's not great Pixar though, but it will get in. And In Your Dreams, I'm sort of just debating between that and Demon Slayer, putting that in. I'm going to go with In Your Dreams. Yeah, I'm going to go with In Your Dreams. With some of the films in the running being Demon Slayer, Neja 2, Scarlet, The Bad Guys 2. Cinematography, I've got Sinners, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Mighty Supreme, Train Dreams. Now, I know I said I'm really confident on Cast Ensemble, and I'm probably the most confident on that. Scratch that, I'm most confident on this. This is the 6 that's happening at Critics' Choice. I know I said I was choosing between Train Dreams and No Other Choice. Train Dreams is for me, one of the most beautiful looking films of the year. There's no way that you can't nominate that. I'm very confident about this 6. And then you've got the other films that were shortlisted as well. No Other Choice, F1, J. Kelly. Avatar wasn't shortlisted, but I put it here because it will screen. 28 Years Later, Nouvelle Vague, and The Plague. But I'm very confident in this 6 for cinematography. Editing, I've got One Battle After Another winning, then Sinners, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, F1, No Other Choice. I'm pretty confident for this 6 as well. I'm looking at what else could get in. A House of Dynamite could get into editing, but I think the film as a whole for House of Dynamite, nominations wise, is pretty finished. And then after that is It Was Just an Accident, Frankenstein, Weapons. I've put in Avatar here as well. It wasn't shortlisted because it didn't screen in time, but I've got it here as a part of like the 13. Then Wake Up Dead Man, then The Perfect Neighbor. But I think I'm pretty confident in this 6. Production design, I've got Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, Sinners, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Avatar, Fire and Ash. I think Avatar being split is the reason why I've not got it in Best Picture, in the sense of some critics like it, some critics don't. I don't think that's going to hurt its chance in production design. The production design for Avatar is always very good. I think it is quite a strong 6 for production design. The head of production design is very good. I really like that they put the Fantastic Four First Steps in the shortlist because I really like the 60s vibe of it. But again, I don't think the Fantastic Four is actually very strong when you look at the other films that are getting in over it in certain categories. I think it's only really strong in visual effects. And then you look at No Other Choice, Sentimental Value, F1, House of Dynamite, and Roofman. I think all of these, bar Header, aren't particularly strong enough to get into production design. I could for sure see Header getting in over Avatar. I could see that. I do need to see Avatar to fully judge the production design. I'm literally going off what other people are saying. It would be very cool to see Hedda in there, but I do think Avatar takes it, and the other five are very locked in. Like Frankenstein, Wicked, Sinners, Hamnet, Mighty Supreme could be the Oscar five. Costume design, I've got Frankenstein winning, then Wicked for Good, Sinners, Hamnet, The Testament of Anne Lee, and Mighty Supreme. Now, like casting and cinematography, this is another category that I'm very confident for. I can't see any of the other films getting in over these except maybe Hedda. Again, a bit like production design. Hedda's costume design is very good. It's set in a party, so everyone's like dolled up and looks really nice. That could have a shot, but I'm very, very confident in the six that I've got. In makeup is Frankenstein winning, Wicked for Good, The Smashing Machine, Sinners, 28 Years Later, and Weapons. I mean, Frankenstein sort of got a win with what they managed to do with Jacob Elordi. He looks just unreal. Like, he looks so... That's why I sort of think he's getting in as well, because he's got the makeup to help take him there. I mean, his performance is very good, but he's got the makeup to help take him there. And I think Frankenstein's just got to win. Like, it's just got to win. Wicked for Good is very, very strong as well. And so is The Smashing Machine, because you're able to just change Dwayne Johnson to be kind of unrecognizable and transform him. That's why I feel like The Smashing Machine has to get in here, because it's such good makeup work. Sinners, 28 Years Later, and Weapons, I think, are very strong in their hair and makeup as well. Begonia sort of has a very, very good shot. And I would like Begonia to show up, but I think the other films are stronger. Kiss of the Spider-Woman, Hedda, Coco, The Ugly Stepsister, Superman. I mean, quite a few of those I haven't seen. Visual effects, I've got Avatar, Fire and Ash winning, then F1, Superman, Wicked for Good, The Fantastic Four, First Steps, and Frankenstein. This is, again, another one of those categories where I've got a clear top five. It's just that sixth spot where I'm just thinking, you know, literally it could be anything. I've got Frankenstein in there now just simply because I think they are going to love Frankenstein, but that's also why I've got Sinners at 7, because they're going to love both of those films, and I do think the visual effects in both films are good. So you literally, any film could fill that spot, but I've got those two in there just because the Critics' Choice are going to love both films. Left is Mission Impossible, How to Train Your Dragon, Predator, Tron Ares, Mickey 17, and Sketch. Literally any of those could get into that last spot, and I could see it. Design, I've got Mission Impossible winning, then F1, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Wicked for Good, and Superman. This, again, is another one of those weird categories for me where, like, top 3, I'd say, is pretty cemented. I think you can extend that down to Sinners as well, like the top 4. That's definitely happening. It's Wicked for Good and Superman, which I'm a bit... might not get in. I have Wicked over Superman, but I feel like Superman has more of a chance than Wicked. So maybe I need to switch those two around. It's one of those where I've got to look at Avatar, Thunderbolts, Ballerina, Frankenstein, Warfare, Predator, Smashing Machine. Those were the rest of the films shortlisted. And well, Avatar wasn't, but you know what I mean, the same thing. There's such a chance for any of those films to get in. You know, you've got Avatar being, an action film. You can say the same for Ballerina. Thunderbolts is the superhero film. Then you've got like the war film in Warfare, Predator, which I haven't seen, but I think I'm going to go with an action film. And then the Smashing Machine, which is like a fighting, like UFC stunts in that. So that's also so intriguing. So this is a little bit up in the air for me. Sound is F1 winning, then Sinners, then One Battle After Another, then Frankenstein, then Wicked for Good, then Avatar. I don't know if I should be confident in this 6 or not, but I'm feeling pretty confident in this 6 for sound. F1 is definitely winning. It feels a lot like Top Gun Maverick because of that vehicle aspect to it. Like it literally feels like you're in the F1 car, so you're just hearing the cars all the time, and it sounds amazing. Like, loads of people that I know who saw it in IMAX said it's one of the best films of the year because they could proper get that sound feel. I think that is for sure winning. On the cusp, I'd say is Hamnet, Warfare, A House of Dynamite, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. I think all 4 of those do have very good sound design. But I'm just unsure if any of those would get in over Avatar and Wicked and Frankenstein. Score of Sinners winning, then One Battle After Another, then Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, and Begonia. Now, like costume design, I think it was costume design I said it for. I don't know if I should be as confident as I am in this 6, because I do think that these are the best scores of the year. My Supremes I haven't heard, but I'm taking everyone's word for it. But the rest of them, I think they are really good scores. And I think they're just too good to not nominate. And I think the Oscars are going to be a variation of this 6. I don't have to worry about that until the Oscar nominations, or a couple of days before the Oscar nominations. So I'm not going to worry about that. But I do think this 6 is very, very strong. I really like these 6. Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Hamnet are the best scores of the year for me. I have to choose between the 3. I just think Critics' Choice are going to love Sinners so much that they are going to make it win here, despite me having One Battle After Another winning picture. After that is F1, A House of Dynamite, Header, Tron, Sirat, and The Plague. I liked F1's score. I think it sort of plays really well with the sound. A House of Dynamite is Volker Bertelmann's very, very good score, but it feels a lot similar to Conclave, and I don't know if I can justify putting that in over Begonias and Frankensteins and Marty Supremes. And then Header, Tron, Sirat, The Plague. Good score. Well, I haven't heard Sirat and The Plagues, but Header and Tron Ares, great scores. I just think the top 6 for me is so strong. I don't really think there's anything getting in over these scores. Best in Original Song. Now, I actually did a video on Best Original Song, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here. My predictions have not changed at all for Best Original Song, but I've got I Lied to You from Sinners winning, then I've got No Place Like Home from Wicked for Good, The Girl in the Bubble from Wicked for Good, Last Time I Seen the Sun from Sinners, Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, and then Dreamers 1 from Avatar Fire and Ash. There are my predictions for the Critics' Choice. This is like the first ever proper predictions video I've done, so if it's a little bit all over the place, I apologize. I'm still trying to work through how to do it. I know there are some channels out there that do they don't just go, here are my predictions, here's me talking about them. They'll just start talking and then address each film one at a time or something. If you want me to go more in depth on why I think that, then let me know. I really want feedback on this video, because predictions are something that obviously with the award ceremonies coming up, are going to be quite prominent. So I want to know how to improve them. I want to know how to make them less messy. If you found this video messy, if you want me to go into more depth for some, if you want to know why I've, picked some films over some other films, just let me know, because this is a video that I've always, these are sort of videos that I've always wanted to do, I've just never done. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and leave in the comments, again, feedback. I really want to hear some. What are your nominations for the Critics' Choice?